University for tonight's swim meet. Featuring Colby Sawyer College and your Eagles of Husson University. At this time, if you could direct your attention to the pool deck, as we'd like to take a moment and honor our 2022-23 Husson University men's and women's seniors. Our first senior is Abby Howe. Abby is a four-year swimmer as well as a New England qualifier. She's a two-year NAC champion. She is also this year's team captain. Abby has grown so much in the pool since her freshman year. She holds individual team records in the backstroke as well as relay records and has been a leader in and out of the pool all 4 years. She'll be missed by all the coaches and teammates. We wish her well in her future endeavors. Senior is Hannah Suter. Hannah is a four-year swimmer and is qualified for New England. Hannah is a very versatile swimmer who can swim all 4 strokes and has been very valuable to our team. She'll be missed by all the coaches and teammates for her humor and swimming. Senior is Sydney Jordan. Sydney has been a 4-year swimmer, all while studying nursing. She qualified for New England's last year. She's really taken off the last few years, and this year she is pushing herself very hard. I have coached Sydney since she was a young age group swimmer, so I will certainly miss her and her infectious smile, as well as will the other coaches. Next senior is Spencer Burnett. Recruited as a swimmer, Spencer has become one of the top divers in Husson University history. He was the NAC champion last year on the 1 meter. He also swims the 50 free to help in meets as well. Spencer is a captain and leads by example in and out of the pool. Spencer has carried on our long tradition of top-notch divers and will be missed by all. Senior is Andrew Cody. Andrew is a 4-year swimmer and New England qualifier. Andrew is our most versatile swimmer we have as he swims distance, his personal favorite, the 200 fly, and everything in between. He is part of relay records for Husson University. Andrew and I share a true love for Christmas magic. He is the most gentle, kind, and thoughtful man I know. He will become an outstanding teacher and will be missed by everyone. Let's give another round of applause for 2022-23 Husson University men's and women's swimming and diving seniors.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the Weber Pool here in Bangor, Maine, on the campus of Husson University. We've got an exciting matchup between the Colby Sawyer Chargers and the Husson University Eagles. Of course, the Husson University women looking for their first ever program victory against these Chargers as we get set for the women's 200-yard medley relay. In lane 2 from Colby Sawyer, we have Lily Stinchfield leading it off in the backstroke for Husson University. In lane 3, Abby Howe, and for Colby Sawyer, once again in lane 4, it'll be Kelsey Brown. Now again, this will be the backstroke into the breaststroke, followed by the butterfly, and then closing out with a freestyle. It'll be Howe, the two-time NAC champion and senior, getting off to an early lead, closely followed by Kelsey Brown up there in lane 4. It'll be Brown heading towards the wall first on this first turn. It'll be Brown, followed by Howe. Howe needs a good turn. She's going to rip a nice long turn underwater. That's what you want to see on the backstroke. She's going to bring it back to her team as she gets ready to hand it over to Ava Emery over there in lane 3. It'll be Mary Stewart taking over for Colby in lane 4. It's a great start by Stewart in lane 4. She's extended her lead to about a body length over Emery. Emery's got some work to do. Into the wall first will be Stewart in lane 4, followed by Emery lane 3. Emery had a great turn right there. She's going to bring it all the way back to about a half a body length as we head into this final stretch of the breaststroke leg. It'll be Nina Boudreau taking over for the Chargers in lane 4. It'll be Hannah Suter for the Eagles in lane 3. Chargers have an advantage of about 2 body lengths as Suter enters the pool for the Eagles. In lane 2, it'll be Caitlin Needham taking over in the butterfly for the Chargers. Holding on to a commanding lead is Boudreau in lane 4. She's going to try to extend that a little bit, but a great turn by Suter. She's going to bring it back, trying to give her teammate a chance to come home and anchor it here on Senior Day. It'll be Brandy Lewis entering the pool to anchor it out for the Chargers, as here comes Sydney Jordan for the Eagles. And with about a 4 body length lead heading into this final 25, it appears to be a foregone conclusion that the Chargers will come home with a victory in the first event of the evening. But, you know, anything can happen. As here she comes to the wall. Chargers take the victory in the women's 200-yard medley in this first event. Looks like we've had a slight malfunction on our clock, so I won't have a final time just yet on that, as here comes Hannah McAloon to close it out up there in lane 2. Well, next it'll be the men. This will be 2 teams of Husson University swimmers. Stephen Johnston leading it off in lane 3, and in lane 5 it'll be Jacob Brown. Again, both for the Eagles. We'll try and get set for that next event. We'd like to take this moment to thank today's meet sponsors: Greenway Equipment Sales in Ellsworth and in Bangor. Nothing runs like a deer. Performance PT, designing a healthier you. Governor's Restaurant and Casella, giving resources a new life. Still in a bit of a slight delay here. We apologize for that. Trying to fix the clock.
In lane 3, the team from Husson University of Stephen Johnston, Joe Vale, Hunter Jackson, and Andrew Cody. In lane 5, the team from Husson University of Jacob Brown, Ben Carusi, Isaiah Esterio, and Chris Salvatore. Mr. Referee.
And we are set for the 200-yard medley relay for the men's. Again, it'll be Stephen Johnston in lane 3 for the Eagles. Jacob Brown for Husson in lane 5. It'll be backstroke into breaststroke, followed by butterfly and freestyle. Off quickly is the senior Stephen Johnson up there in lane 3. He's going to get a quick lead over his teammate Brown in lane 5. It'll be Johnston to the wall first. About a 13-second split to the feet, and very quickly off in the backstroke. He's going to come roaring home, hand it over to the senior Joe Vale, the graduate student, excuse me, in a split of 27-15. Blazing to start off this meet is Johnston. Here comes Brown, handing it over to Carusi. And Vale is going to try to continue to build the lead over his teammate Carusi in lane 5 as he's to the wall first by about 3 body lengths. Carusi to the wall first, has a great turn. Here comes Vale, getting ready to hand it over to Hunter Jackson for the butterfly. Carusi will hand it over to Isaiah Therio for this third leg. Jackson to the wall first on the far end by about half a pool length. It'll be Jackson getting ready to hand it over to the senior Andrew Cody to anchor this relay out for the Eagles. 26-24 is the split for Jackson on the fly leg. And here comes Therio handing it over to Chris Salvatore to anchor it out for the Eagles in lane 5. And Cody will come roaring home for a senior day victory here at the Weber Pool. 23.95 will be his split, bringing home a time of 1:47.27 for the Eagles in this 200-yard medley relay. As Salvatore will finish, 25.76 is his split. Bringing home a time of 1:59.12 for the Eagles. As we get set for the men's and women's, they will be combined, I believe. 1,000-yard freestyle. I'll have a special guest joining me in the form of Isaac Haskins, who has had a little bit of experience in some distance events in high school and looking to join me to relieve some of my my voice work today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Ethan. I'm excited to be here.
Now, the 1,000-yard freestyle, 40 laps, it can really start to catch up with you, especially towards that end. What's something that they need to keep as they go through the whole event?
Well, some things that they really need to focus on are keeping steady and keeping calm, because it's all about preserving your energy for the entire length of the race. Another thing is you just really want to keep your hips out of the water and make sure your legs aren't splashing too much, but you also don't want them to be perfectly still. You really want to keep your hips and legs out of the water and afloat while not losing too much energy or creating too much drag.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've said it best. It's a matter of trying to conserve that energy. It's a long race. Goes about 10, 15 minutes. And as that stacks up, it can certainly come back and bite you towards the end if you start out too fast.
Absolutely.
Will be Celia LaFlame there in lane 1, Maggie Poole in lane 2 for Husson University, and Quinn Mannion in lane 3 for the Colby Sawyer Chargers. For the men, it'll be 4, 5, 6. It'll be Sam Pizer, Alex Walsh, and Braden Champlin rounding out the field. Of course, combining, trying to get some time off of this event. Already pushed back a little bit. We had a football bowl game earlier today, which was an exciting, albeit heartbreaking finish for the Eagles.
Absolutely.
And just a couple more contests down the road at St. Joseph's College for both the men's and women's basketball teams. So busy day for Husson Athletics. We see Alex Walsh getting off to a quick lead. Of course, he won the 1,000-yard freestyle just last week in that home tri-meet. And obviously, as expected, we see the men starting to pull away from the women. Of course, they're not really competing against the women. They're really just competing against themselves.
Absolutely. And that's really what these distance races come down to. Can you possibly make it the distance? And
Yeah.
it's more or less a personal thing, you know?
Yeah, it's much more of a mental race than it is. Well, it's very physical, but there's a lot more of a mental aspect as the distances get longer. Of course, you have the mile, the 1650 that you can also contest, and both of those can really stack up along with 1,000.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the only thing you can control is what's going on in your lane and in your mind.
So as we head towards the 200-yard mark here in this 1,000 freestyle, it'll be Alex Walsh ahead by about 3/4 of a pool length over his teammate.
He's taken a commanding lead here in this race.
Yeah, and we can see he's really keeping his stroke long. And I think obviously in an effort to conserve energy, we see him hit at about the 2:03, 2:04 mark at the 200. He's on a really great pace.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's going to try and hold, I think, a 32, 33 pace throughout this whole event, which is a harder pace to maintain, would you think?
Yeah.
And leading for the women, it'll be Maggie Poulin in lane 2 for the Eagles. Again, a 1,000-yard event, something like this, when the energy starts to deplete, what's something that you can really try to keep going?
One thing that I would really point to is controlling your breath. Your oxygen intake is huge to how well you can stretch out your strength and your agilityness when it comes to the swimming activity. Really, it depends on who you are and what type of lungs you have, but for the most part, you're going to be breathing quite a bit during one of these longer races.
Yeah, you see some of these swimmers opt for a 3-stroke breath pattern to at least to start off. And then as the lactic acid builds up and as the event wears on, we see him breathe every other stroke.
Yep.
We see that with Pizer up there in lane 4 at the moment.
And Palin in lane 2.
Looks like in lane 3, it's Quinn Mannion. She's still got a 3-stroke breath pattern going about halfway through this event. Or excuse me, a quarter of the way through this event. Math is not coming easy to me today.
It's not. It's one of those days.
It is one of those days, isn't it? Alex Walsh heading into lap 16. Right around the 4-minute mark. Still going strong, but it looks like he's kicked it up a little bit in terms of his legs. Going back to that 3-stroke breath pattern.
And I gotta say, it's hard not to be hyped up when your teammate Ben Carusi is standing there cheering you on the sides.
Ben Carusi, the junior out of New Bedford, Massachusetts, one of the captains on the team. One that I have the privilege of knowing quite well personally.
As with me.
Absolutely. As we see Walsh just getting ready to pass his teammate Champlin in the lane 6 on the first lap. Just about even with Mannion up there in lane 3. Poulin on lap 16 now as Walsh will approach the halfway mark. Now this is actually the halfway mark. I did my math correctly this time.
Okay, we did it right this time?
I made sure of it.
Okay.
But we see Walsh using a lot of that big frame of his to scoop a lot of water. You see him really extending that arm, and that's something to watch out for as the event goes on.
Plays a big factor in this.
Longer you are, the more water you can scoop and stuff like that.
And that takes me back to my cross-country days, actually. The longer your legs, the more ground you can cover in one step.
Yeah.
Similar concept.
A lot of things from other sports translate very well into swimming, I've noticed.
Absolutely. I have to say, no sport tires me out like swimming, though.
Oh, no. Which is why an event like this, 1,000 yards, is just so impressive, especially once you stack it on top of
Absolutely.
other events.
It's insane. Hats off to everyone competing today.
See Walsh still holding fairly steady at about that 34 mark. Heading into lap number 24. The women's leader, Maggie Poulin, up there in lane 2. Just about halfway done in this event, approaching the 6:30 mark. As we see her, she's kind of adopted almost a single beat kick. She's taken about one kick per stroke, which can work sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
It just depends on who it is and your personal style.
Absolutely. There are a lot of techniques that you'll see here that vary from person to person, and that has to do with coaching and just body shape and size.
And a lot of personal comfort as well, because I myself, I had a very weird stroke.
I know. I know. I tried doing it once, and it did not work out very well, ladies and gentlemen.
It was very lopsided. It's something that usually is called galloping. We might see that a little bit later. In fact, we're starting to see it with Walsh in lane 5. That's something that happens a lot. My left side would tighten up a little bit more than my right side as an event wore on. And I would start to pull a little less water, and I'd really kind of get lopsided, and on top of just breathing to one side, which wasn't great.
No.
It would all add up, and I'd look a little funky. So yeah, still right on that pace, that 33, 34 mark, which is something that is really important to do as an event wears on.
Absolutely.
Is to try and keep right at that pace.
Consistency is key in a race like this.
Absolutely, and that way you know where you're at, and that way maybe you get a late push.
Yeah, those last couple of laps when you know where it's really going to come down to it.
We've also got Poulin holding at a very steady about 41. She heads into lap 26. Walsh still the leader. Just finished up with lap number 30. He's got 10 more laps to go.
And one thing down here on lane 6, we can notice the hips of Braden Champlin have been dropping a little bit. And we're wondering if that is technique or if it's getting a little tiring here towards the end of the race.
I would have to assume it's tiring.
Yeah.
I mean, again, something like this can really add up. But you also never know if someone has swam the event before. Maybe it's a lack of strategy.
Who knows? Every now and then you could take a little lap break, conserve it, and then get a really nice push the next couple.
And that's exactly what we're seeing, actually. We see him bring that kick, that beat back up on his kick to about a 3-stroke, or 3 kicks per stroke.
Yep.
He heads into lap 32, the leader for the men. Walsh heading into lap 36. Poulin finishing up lap 30 here. She will hit at about the 10-minute mark. Trying to have a little bit of a battle are Pizer and Walsh. Pizer's trying to stick with his teammate a little bit as Walsh has caught him from behind, but we hear the cowbell ring. That signifies Walsh heading into his last 50 here in this 1,000. Right at about the 10:25 mark was his split. Cheered on by his teammate Thierry. Here he comes towards the end. It will be Alex Walsh taking home the victory in the 1,000-yard freestyle for the men here at this dual meet. Final split time of 29:33 on that last 50. He's cooking on that one.
Absolutely.
10:53.24 his final time, just under the 11-minute mark. As we'll turn our attention to the women's leader. It'll be Maggie Poulin up there in lane 2. She's still got a nice long stroke going.
And you notice she's taking fewer and fewer kicks with each breath she's taking.
An effort to conserve energy, you would think.
Absolutely.
Trying to make a late push is Mannion up there in lane 3. She's still behind by a lap. Poulin heading into 36, Mannion heading into 34. But her pace has quickened. Head coach Butch Babin trying to get Braden Champlin to catch his teammate Sam Pizer in lane 4. He's going to make a late push. Look at his kick go.
Oh my God. He's going all in for this last lap here.
And it's going to come down to the wire between these two. It'll be in lane 4, Sam Pizer. Lane 6, Braden Champlin. Champlin with a great push off the wall. He's going to try and close it out above his teammate. Pizer.
Neck and neck right now.
It will be Champlin pushing it to the wall with a final split of 29:61 to catch his teammate. Finishing with a final time of 12:13.48. Pizer finishing 12:15.38. Nothing like a little friendly competition between teammates, huh?
Absolutely.
Pizer pulled out in front early over Champlin, but Champlin started to bring it back as he started to split that one a little bit quicker than Pizer towards the end.
Absolutely.
As here comes Poulin heading into her last lap. Still has a lap advantage over Mannion.
And the final push from Poulin.
Sometimes, as it looks right now, it's just a struggle to finish this race.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it'll be Poulin getting the job done for the Eagles on the women's side. 3:14.35, her final time. Eagles still looking to try and get a first ever women's program victory over the Colby Sawyer Chargers. And our last meet coming in 2018.
It's been some time.
Maybe to try and change some history tonight.
Absolutely.
As we see Celia LaFlamme finishing it out for the Chargers up there in lane 1. 13:46.17 her final time. And to the wall now. To round out the field will be Quinn Mannion in lane 3. Stand for Colby Sawyer. 39:32 her final split. Rounding our time is 14:06. We look forward to the 200-yard freestyle. For the women, it'll be Juliana DeGray in lane 2 for the Chargers. For the Eagles in lane 3, it'll be Hannah Suter, Brandy Lewis for Colby Sawyer in lane 4, and Kat Christensen for the Eagles in lane 5. Now 200, much less. It's more of a sprint than we're seeing.
So we're going to see a lot more intense leg kicking, and we're going to see a lot further reaches on the strokes.
Trying to stay long, but also quicken that stroke as much as you can. This is one of my personal favorite events.
Oh, I know that. I remember those late nights at the pool. You would always cook me in this race.
Oh, that was always fun.
Oh, yeah.
Off they are in the 200-yard freestyle. It'll be Hannah Suter off quickly in lane 3. Brandy Lewis in lane 4 off quickly for the Chargers in lane 4. It'll be Lewis to the wall first in lane 4, followed by Suter, lane 3. It'll be Lewis to the wall first, splitting up 28-70. I don't have this on my sheets, but I believe that is, so I'm not quite sure who that is up there for Husson University in lane 1. Once again, it'll be Lewis to the wall first, followed by that mysterious Husson swimmer in lane 1, followed by Suter in lane 3. Lewis to the wall, just under a minute, 31:91, her last split. I believe that's Erica Barone in lane 1. It'll be Barone in lane 1, Suter lane 3. Duking it out for what appears to be second. Lewis has extended her lead to about 3 or 4 body lengths over the 2 Husson University teammates. Lewis to the wall, splitting 33:46 in that last 50. Barone a slight edge over her teammate Suter in lane 3. But Suter outsplitting her on that one. She had a great turn, caught right back up to Barone. As here comes Lewis home in the final stretch. It will be Lewis taking home the victory for the Chargers in lane 4. And Barone up there in lane 1 has a slight edge over her teammate Suter in lane 3. She will finish second. It'll be Lewis with time of 2:07.82, taking home the victory for the Chargers, followed by Erica Barone up there in lane 1. 2:19.05 is her time. And Hannah Suter rounds out the podium, 2:20.09. It'll be Juliana DeGray and Kat Christensen to the wall now. DeGray will finish 4th, followed by Christensen 5th in lane 5. DeGray's final time, 2:40.71. Christensen's final time, 2:44.50. Next up, it'll be the men. It'll be Chris Salvatore in lane 3 for Husson. Caden Braley for Colby Sawyer in lane 4, and Andrew Cody in lane 5 for the Eagles.
The men's 200-yard freestyle. In lane 3 from Husson University, Chris Salvatore. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Caden Braley. In lane 5 from Husson University, Andrew Cody, Mr. Number 8.
Out there in the men's 200-yard freestyle, it'll be Caden Braley getting away quickly for Colby Sawyer in lane 4. Right on his heels is Andrew Cody in lane 5. Chris Salvatore just behind him in lane 3. It'll be Braley to the wall first, closely followed by Cody. Having a great turn to Salvatore as he comes quickly out of the wall.
I was going to say, Cody had a pretty good turn himself. He caught up, made up for a lot of that lost ground off the start.
It'll be Salvatore to the wall first for the Eagles after this first 50. 28-22 is his split. And another great turn by Cody on that one. He's brought it all the way back. I think now he's in front of Braley in lane 4. It'll be Salvatore once again to the wall first, down there in lane 3. See, 2 different kind of styles here between Salvatore and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Salvatore a little bit short, a little bit choppy.
Yep.
Cody very long.
Yes.
As both Husson University teammates have edged out to about a body length and a half over Braley. It'll be Salvatore in lane 3, still with the lead, about a half a body length over his teammate Cody in lane 5. still holding the edge. Coming into this last 50 is Salvatore. 33-22 is his split, followed by Cody's 33-12. So just off of each other. Cody trying to make a little bit of a final push. Caden Braley losing his early lead on that first turn.
We're going to have another one of these friendly Husson competitions on the final stretch here?
It looks like it. Cody can bring it home pretty quickly if he wants to,
absolutely.
and here he goes.
He recovered well with that last turn.
It'll be Salvatore and Cody to the wall. It'll be Salvatore taking home the victory for the Eagles in lane 3, followed by his teammate Cody in lane 2. 2:05.78 is the winning time. Cody's time, 2:07.02. As it'll be Caden Braley rounding out the field, 2:19.61 his final time. Well, Isaac, I want to thank you for joining me today. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you
so
for
much for
taking some of the load off of my voice.
Of course.
And hope to maybe see you again later tonight.
Absolutely.
For these 500s. As we look ahead, next it will be the men's and women's 50-yard backstroke.
The women's 50-yard backstroke. In lane 2 from Colby Sawyer College, Aaron McLean.
In lane 2, it'll
In
be
lane 3
from
Husson
Colby.
University,
It'll be Aaron McLean, Abby Howe in lane 3 from Husson, Lily Stinchfield from Colby Sawyer in lane 4, and in lane 5, it'll be Sydney Jordan for this quick down and back race. Howe getting off quickly on the deep start for the Eagles. She's going to come up with about a body length of the lead already over there in lane 3. It'll be Howe, followed by McLean. Jordan in lane 5. Jordan and Stinchfield get really good turns as they come out of the wall neck and neck. It'll be Howe coming to the end at about a body length lead. The NAC champion in this event, 30:45 her time. 32:86 is the time for Aaron McLean up there in lane 2. Sydney Jordan rounds out the podium, 33:29, and Stinchfield 33:80. Be the 50-yard backstroke next. Isaiah Stereo, Jacob Brown, both from the Husson Eagles in lanes 3 and 5.
Event 8, the men's 50-yard backstroke. In lane 3 from Husson University, Isaiah Stereo. And in lane 5 from Husson University, Jacob Brown. Mr. Referee.
Be Therio and Brown, lanes 3 and 5. Husson University teammates getting away here in this 50-yard backstroke. Therio with a nice long start gets about a half a body length advantage over his teammate Brown. It'll be Therio to the wall first, followed by Brown. Brown will come up a little bit quickly as Therio will continue to cruise out in front of him by about a body length and a half. It'll be Therio to the wall first for the Eagles, followed by Brown in lane 5. And we'll go down and back pretty quickly as the next one will be the 50-yard breaststroke for the men's and women's. It'll be Ava Emery in lane 3 from Husson University. Lane 4, it'll be Mary Stewart from Colby Sawyer. And in lane 5, rounding out the field from Husson University, will be Aaron Madden. We have a quick delay on deck regarding some timing issues.
Lane 3 from Husson University, Ava Emery. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Mary Stewart. And in lane 5 from Husson University, Aaron Madden. Mr. Referee.
While timing issues aside, we're off in the women's 50-yard breaststroke. It'll be Madden getting away quickly in lane 5. It'll be Emery, Stewart, and Madden, lanes 3, 4, 5 for you. It'll be Stewart to the wall, quickly followed by Madden and Emery. It'll really come down to that turn here in this 50-yard breaststroke. It'll be Stewart still leading after the turn. It'll be Madden trying to make a push for the end. It'll be Stewart ahead by about an arm's length. It'll be Stewart to the wall first, 35.06, followed by Madden, 35.69. And Emery gets it done, 35.87. As they go 1, 2, 3 here in this 50-yard breaststroke. Could be the men next. Ben Crucy in lane 3, Travis Pendleton from Colby Sawyer College in lane 4, and Sam Pizer in lane 5.
Event 10, the men's 50-yard breaststroke. In lane 3 from Husson University, Ben Carusi. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Travis Pendleton. And in lane 5 from Husson University, Sam Pizer. Mr. Referee.
Carusi and Pizer get away quickly, as it'll be Pizer coming up first in lane 5 for the Eagles, quickly followed by his teammate Carusi over there in lane 3. It'll be Pendleton coming up with about a body length behind the two leaders. It'll be Carusi to the wall first. Pizer right behind him as he gets a great turn. It'll be Pizer coming up first, followed by Carusi. Carusi gets out ahead off of his first stroke. It'll be Carusi by about an arm's length over his teammate in lane 5. It'll be Carusi with a time of 32.67 getting it done for the Eagles. And Pizer rounds out with a 33.79, and Pendleton with a time of 38.51. Next will be treated just a little bit more distance. It'll be the 100-yard butterfly for the men and women. Will be Nina Boudreau in lane 2 from Colby Sawyer. In lane 3 from Husson University, Kayla Payson, Kelsey Brown in lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College. And in lane 5 from Husson University, it'll be Olivia Smith. Again, Payson will get away quickly as expected. Payson, the NAC champion in this event. But it'll be Brown getting away quickly from Payson. Payson tries to wheel her in as she heads into the wall. It'll be Brown, followed by Payson into the wall. And what a turn from Brown as she gets ahead from He gets away a little bit from Payson by about a body length. Payson still trying to reel her in. It'll be Brown, 28.01 hair split. Payson's 28.89. And another monster turn from Brown puts her ahead of Payson by about a body length. Payson still trying to do her best to bring her back. Boudreau still holding an advantage over Smith in lane 5. It'll be Brown to the wall first, followed by Payson. Payson trying to lengthen her out her stroke to match Brown's. She's made up a little bit of ground as we come to this final stretch. It will be Brown to the wall just ahead of Payson, 33.11 her final split. Payson's 33.33. But it'll be Brown getting it done for the Chargers in lane 4. 101.12 her time. Payson's 102.22. It'll be Nina Boudreau in third place, 106.88. And Olivia Smith in lane 4 will round, or in lane 5, will round out the field, 113.76. As we get ready for the men, it'll be Hunter Jackson in lane 1 from Husson University. From Colby Sawyer, it'll be Parker Hilton in lane 3. Jacob Ramos from Husson in lane 3. In lane 4, it'll be Mike Gordon from Colby Sawyer. And Joe Vale will round out the field in lane 5 from Husson University.
Event 12, the men's 100-yard butterfly. University, Jacob Ramos. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Mike Gordon. In lane 5 from Husson University, Joe Vale. Just the referee.
It'll be Vale getting away quickly in lane 5 for the Eagles, followed by his teammate Ramos in lane 3. It'll be those three. Three Eagles will fly right into this first wall, going 1, 2, 3. It'll be Ramos, Vale, Jackson, lanes 3, 5, and 1, respectively. Closely followed by a Charger up there in lane 2. That's Parker Hilton. Hilton trying to charge along with Ramos. It'll be Ramos to the wall first, 26.52 his split, followed by his teammate Jackson up there in lane 1, 26.90 his split. As it'll be Ramos riding high in the water, trying to stay ahead of Hilton. It'll be Jackson starting to tighten up a little bit on Hilton as he will try and make a push, but still trying to stay ahead is Ramos. His teammate is charging up there in lane 1, but it'll be Ramos to the wall first, splitting 31.40 his final time, 57.92. Joe Vale getting it done down there in lane 5, 58.89. 59.21 the final time for Hunter Jackson, rounding out the podium for the Eagles. Parker Hilton gets it done 1 flat 90, just about under that minute mark. And rounding out the field is Mike Gordon from Colby Sawyer, 119.67. As we look ahead to the men's and women's 50-yard freestyle. Down and back, this one's going to go quick. Isabella Viles from Husson up there in lane 1. Hannah McAloon from Colby Sawyer in lane 2. Kayla Payson just out of that, her own. Excuse me, that's Maggie Poulin in lane 3 from Husson. Celia LaFlamme in lane 3, or in lane 4, excuse me, from Colby Sawyer, and Erica Barone in lane 5. It will be Poulin and the Flam getting away quickly, but Barone up there in lane 5 is going to stroke out in front. She's going to be into the wall first in lane 5, followed by McAloon and LaFlamme in lanes 2 and 4 from Colby Sawyer. Coming off the wall well as Poulin trying to make up some ground. She won't do that. It will be between Barone and McAloon to the wall. Barone gets it done, 28-93, followed by McAloon up there in lane 2, 29-40. It will be Celia LaFlamme in third, 30-58. Poulin in fourth, 31-61. Viles in fifth, 33-54. Now to the men, it'll be Andrew Cody in lane 1, Travis Pendleton in lane 2, Stephen Johnston in lane 3, Caden Braley in lane 4, and Ryan Emerson in lane 5.
Event 14, the men's 50-yard freestyle. In lane 1 from Husson University, Andrew Cody. In lane 2 from Colby Sawyer College, Travis Pendleton. In lane 3 from Husson University, Stephen Johnston. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Caden Braley. And in lane 5 from Husson University, Ryan Emerson. Mr. Referee.
Look for Johnston to get away quickly here, as he will. It'll be Johnston hanging tight with his teammate Emerson in lane 5. Emerson, the rookie of the week here in the NAC a couple of weeks ago. It'll be Johnston off the wall, followed by Emerson. Cody up there in lane 1 trying to challenge Johnston, but it'll be Johnston cruising to the wall in lane 3, 22-54. Followed by his teammate Emerson in lane 5, 23-26. Cody goes 24-74. In fourth, it'll be Caden Braley, 25-01. And Travis Pendleton will close it out for the Chargers, 34-12, his final time. Well, next up on the schedule, we've got some diving heading your way. We're going to take a quick break as we get set up for that. We'll be right back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Kicking off our diving here in round one, we have Spencer Burnett from Husson University. 103B, difficulty 1.7, forward one half somersault from the pike position. Judges scores 6.5, 6, 6.5. Next diver from Husson University is Lily Butler. It'll be a 101A. Forward dive from the straight position, difficulty 1.4. Judges scores 3.5, 3.5, 4.5. Our next diver from Husson University is Matt Stees. Matt's first dive will be a 103B, forward 1.5 somersault from the pike position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges score 6, 5, 5. Our next diver from Husson University is Riley Mahoney. Riley's first dive will be a 102A, forward one somersault from the straight position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5, 6, 5.5. Our next diver is Jordan Bartlett from Husson University. Jordan's first dive will be a 101A, forward dive from the straight position, 1.4 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 5, 4.5. Beginning our second round will be Spencer Burnett with a 51-22D, forward one somersault, one twist from the free position, 1.9 difficulty.
Correction, 1.9.
Judges scores 6, 7, 7.5. Lily's second dive will be a 401C, inward dive from the tuck position, 1.4 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5, 6, 4.5. Matt's second dive will be a 51-22D, forward one somersault, one twist from the free position, 1.9 difficulty. Judges scores 7, 6.5, 6.5. Riley's second dive is a 202A. Back one somersault from the straight position, 1.7 difficulty.
Somersault straight, 1.7.
Judges scores 6, 6.5, 7. Jordan's second dive will be a 301A, reverse dive from the straight position, 1.8 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 5.5, 4.5. Beginning round 3, Spencer's third dive will be a 302B, reverse one somersault from the pike position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 6, 7, 5. Lily's third dive will be a 201A. Back dive from the straight position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 3.5, 4, 4. Matt's third dive will be a 302C, reverse one somersault position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 6.5, 6, 7. Riley's third dive will be a 52-21D. Back one somersault, one half twist from the free position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 5, 6, 6.5.
Jordan's third dive will be 202C, back one somersault tuck, 1.5.
Jordan's third dive will be a 202C, back one somersault from the tuck position, difficulty 1.5. Judges scores 3 across the board. Beginning our fourth round will be Spencer Burnett in 204C, back to somersaults from the tuck position, 2.2 difficulty. Judges scores 5, 5, 5.5. Lily's fourth dive will be a 51-21D. Forward 1 somersault, 1 half twist from the free position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 2.5, 4, 3. Matt's fourth dive will be a 402C, inward 1 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 6, 5, 4.5. Riley's fourth dive will be a 301A reverse dive from the straight position, 1.8 difficulty. Judges scores 6, 5, 4.5. Jordan's fourth dive will be a 401C, inward tuck from the inward dive from the tuck position, 1.4 difficulty. Judges scores 6, 4.5, 5. Beginning our fifth and final round, Spencer's fifth dive will be a 401B, inward dive from the pike position, 1.5 difficulty. Judges scores 7, 5.5, 6.5. Lily's fifth and final dive will be a 301A, reverse dive from the straight position, 1.8 difficulty. Judges scores 3 across the board. Matt's fifth and final dive, is a 202A, back one somersault from the straight position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5, 5, 4.5. Riley's fifth and final dive will be a 401B inward dive from the pike position, 1.5 difficulty. Judges scores 7, 6.5, 7. Jordan's fifth and final dive, a 51-21D. Forward, one somersault, one half twist from the free position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 3, 2.5. This concludes diving. At this time, we'll reset the pool and we'll take a quick break. And congratulate Spencer Burnett for breaking a pool record here at the Weber Pool in diving. 168.8 his final score. Again, we will take a quick break. And we'll be right back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Please prepare the pool. Swimming.
Nothing runs like a deer.
Whether you have a lawn to mow, a driveway to plow, or a garden to till, our customers know you can't beat the quality and reliability of a John Deere.
And right now at Greenway Equipment Sales, we have a great offer for you.
Get 0% APR fixed rate financing for 72 months on a John Deere compact utility tractor with a 6-year powertrain warranty.
For more offers, go to greenwayequipment.com.
See the Smith Brothers today at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Selling is all about relationships and building trust. At Greenway, it's our people that have built the business. We're fortunate to have a team with years of experience. They know John Deere equipment inside and out and go the extra mile to take care of our customers.
And right now is a great time to talk to one of us about a new tractor. Get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a John Deere compact utility tractor. Nothing runs like a deer.
From Greenway Equipment Sales, family owned and operated since 1994.
Welcome back inside the Weber Pool. I'm Zethan Moss alongside Isaac Haskins here in a few minutes. We're just out of the first diving break, heading into the women's 100-yard freestyle. We have the men and women of Husson University out to an early lead in front of the men and women from Colby Sawyer, just about halfway through the competition today. For the women's 100-yard freestyle, it will be Erica Barone from Husson University in lane 1. In lane 2, Nina Boudreau from Colby Sawyer. Emery from Husson University in lane 3. Hannah McAloon in lane 4 from Colby Sawyer. And Isabella Viles in lane 5 from Husson University. Off to the quick start in lane 3 is Emery from Husson University, followed by a teammate up there in lane 1 in Barone, excuse me. It will be Emery off to an early lead by about half a body length. She goes into the wall first, followed by Boudreau in lane 2 from Colby Sawyer. It'll be Boudreau off the wall first, followed by Emery. Emery trying to charge home here in the first half of this event. It will be Emery to the wall first by about half of a second, followed by Boudreau in lane 2 from Colby Sawyer. Barone in lane 1 from Husson. Rounding out the field in lane 4 is Hannah McAloon from Colby Sawyer. It will be Emery to the wall first on the far side. No, excuse me, that will be Boudreau to the wall first on the far side. Emery's got to track her down off that wall. It'll be Boudreau with a late push trying to get ahead of Emery in lane 3. And it will be Boudreau taking it home in the women's 100-yard freestyle with a time of 1:18, followed by Emery 1:95. Barone up there in lane 1, 1:03.03, and 1:03.71 is the final time for Hannah McAloon. So we look towards the men's. It's going to be Isaiah Therio in lane 1 from Husson University. Colby Sawyer College is Mike Gordon in lane 2. Jacob Ramos from Husson University in lane 3. Lane 4 is Tristan Lees from Colby Sawyer. Braden Champlin in lane 5 from Husson, and Caden Braley from Colby Sawyer in lane 6.
Event 18, the men's 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1 from Husson University, Isaiah Therio. In lane 2 from Colby Sawyer College, Mike Gordon. In lane 3 from Husson University, Jacob Ramos. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Tristan Lees. In lane 5 from Husson University, Braden Champlin. In lane 6 from Colby Sawyer College, Caden Braley. Mr. Referee.
Out quickly is Champlin in lane 5 from Husson, followed by his teammate Ramos in lane 3. It'll be Champlin and Ramos away quickly. Lays making a move in lane 4. It'll be Ramos to the wall, followed by Lays and Champlin. Up there in lane 1, Therio's got a great lead over Gordon in lane 2. It'll be Ramos heading towards the wall first in this first 50. It'll be Ramos. No, it will be Lees to the wall first. He's got a little bit of a lead over Ramos. Champlin and Ramos trying to track him down in lanes 3 and 5. It'll be Lees trying to extend his lead heading into the final wall here at lane 4. But with a great turn is Ramos. He brings it all the way back. It'll be between Ramos and Lees as they head into this final stretch. Therio trying to make a move up there in lane 1. But holding on will be Lees, and at the final push, Champlin gets it done for the Eagles in lane 5. He places second, 52.48 the time for Lees in lane 4. Champlin 52.75. It will be Ramos in lane 3, 53.70. Up there in lane 1, Therio 53.80. 59.92 for Braley in lane 6. And in lane 2, rounding out the field, 102.60 for Mike Gordon.
And on lane 1 in that race, we had an impressive recovery by Isaiah Terrio. Coming out from a slower start, but he picked it up towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, picked it up, brought it back in. As we look ahead towards the 100-yard backstroke, it'll be Aaron McLean, Abby Howe, Louis Stinchfield, and Sydney Jordan. And Colby Sawyer for McLean and Stinchfield, Husson for Howe and Jordan. Again, Howe, the NAC champion in this event. Looking to defend some sort of ceremonial title, I guess, in this event. As it'll be Howe, as expected, getting away quickly. She comes up about half a body length ahead of her competitors. It'll be Howe, followed by McLean up there in lane 2. To the wall first, it's Howe, closely followed by McLean, then Jordan lane 5, Stinchfield lane 4. Off the wall quickly, Howe still with the lead. Stroking out, trying to take the lead up there in lane 2 is Aaron McLean. She's going to come into the wall. They're going to come into the wall dead even between Howe and McLean. It's going to be Howe first. 32-80 is her split. 33-36 is the split for McLean. Jordan and Stinchfield dueling it out in lanes 4 and 5 as well. Jordan has a slight edge in that competition. Howe starting to lengthen her stroke a little bit. She gets ahead by about half a body length as we head into this final wall. It will be Howe, followed by McLean. Jordan in third, Stinchfield in fourth. Howe trying to defend a surging McLean. As we come to the wall, it'll be Howe and McLean. Howe will finish first, getting it done for the Eagles up there in lane 3. 1:08.38 her final time. McLean gets it done for the Chargers, 1:09.79. Jordan, 1:10.98. And Stinchfield, 1:12.72 rounds out your field as we get ready for the men's 100-yard backstroke. It will be Sam Pizer in lane 1, Joe Vale lane 3, both from Husson University. Parker Hilton from Colby Sawyer in lane 4. It'll be Hunter Jackson from Husson in lane 5. I'm going to watch for Vale to get away quickly here in lane 3. As expected, it'll be Vale coming up first by about a half a body length over Hilton in lane 4. It'll be Vale pacing with Pizer as he heads into the wall up there first in lane 3. Pizer second in lane 5, followed by Jackson in lane 5. Pizer up there in lane 1. It'll be Hilton bringing up the rear right along with Jackson. To the wall first, it'll be Vale splitting about a 29-49. Jackson splits a 30 flat. He comes off the wall well, catches up with his teammate up there in lane 3 in Vale. It'll be Vale first to the far wall. His teammate Jackson trying to track him down in lane 5. It'll be between those two for the victory. And trying to round out the podium, you got Pizer up there in lane 1, Hilton in lane 4. But it'll be Joe Vale cruising to the victory in the 100-yard backstroke. 1:01.11 is his time. Jackson goes a 1:02.62. It'll be Hilton with a 1:06.42. And Pizer finishes out the field with a 1:07.77. As we look ahead to the women's 100-yard breaststroke, it'll be Erin Madden from Husson University in lane 3. Mary Stewart and from Colby Sawyer in lane 4. We saw those two go head-to-head in the 50 breaststroke a little bit earlier tonight. Stewart getting the best of Madden that time around. Olivia Smith in lane 5 for Husson will round out the field for the 100-yard breaststroke. we try to sort through a little bit of some timing issues.
Event 21, the women's 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 3 from Husson University, Erin Madden. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Mary Stewart. And in lane 5 from Husson University, Olivia Smith. Mr. Referee.
It'll be Madden and Stewart to watch in this one. Madden gets away quickly. Up there in lane 3 for Husson, it'll be Madden and Stewart. Stewart gets away. In lane 4, it'll be Stewart to the wall first. About a half a body length ahead of Madden. Madden has a quick turn, gets it right back as they come up dead even. And the battle will be between those two. We saw Stewart get the better of Madden a little bit earlier tonight in the 50-yard version of this event. And it'll be Stewart hitting the wall first by about a second over Madden. 35-27 her split, 36-48 Madden's. Olivia Smith in third, 39-91 her split. It'll be Stewart getting the advantage over Madden. She extends her lead to about a body length. Heading into the final wall, it'll be Stewart first in lane 4, Madden in lane 2. So we come into the final stretch. It'll be Stewart leading Madden by about 3/4 of a body length. Madden trying to put on a late charge, but it'll be too little too late, as Stewart will finish first for the Chargers. 1:15.40 her time, 1:18 flat is the time for Madden. And Olivia Smith will round it out for the Eagles, 1:25.99 her time. As we look ahead to the men's 100-yard breaststroke, it'll be Travis Pendleton there in lane 2 from Colby Sawyer. Ryan Emerson from Husson in lane 3. And Tristan Lees, fresh out of his 100 fly not too long ago, from Colby Sawyer in lane 4. Excuse me, his 100-yard freestyle not too long ago.
The men's 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 2 from Colby Sawyer College, Travis Pendleton. In lane 3 from Husson University, Ryan Emerson. And in lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Tristan Lees. Mr. Referee.
Emerson gets away really quick up there in lane 3. As expected, it'll be Emerson first by about half a body length. Over Lees in lane 4. It'll be Emerson to the wall first by about a body length over Lees in lane 4. Pendleton in lane 2. It'll be Emerson with a nice long stroke, continuing to build his lead over Lees. Now about a body length and a half as we head into the first wall. It'll be Emerson first, 30-89 his split. Followed by Lees, 34-31 his split. Here comes Pendleton up there in lane 2. It'll be 40-28 his split on the first 50 of this 100-yard breaststroke. Emerson first to the far wall over there in lane 3 from Husson. It'll be Lees behind him by about half a pool length already, heading into his final leg, but it'll be the one-time Rookie of the Week in the North Atlantic Conference. Will close it out in this 100-yard breaststroke, getting it done for the Eagles once again. Will be Ryan Emerson with a time of 1:06.22. As my good buddy Aiden would like to say, that's my roommate. 1:15.19 is the time for Tristan Lees in lane 4. And here comes Pendleton for the Chargers, getting it done in a time of 1:28.67. Now joining me once again will be Isaac Haskins for these 500-yard freestyle. We got the women going first. We're separated this time around. And it'll be Kat Christensen in lane 1 from Husson University. Quinn Mannion in lane 2 from Colby Sawyer. Kayla Payson from Husson University in lane 3. Brandy Lewis from Colby Sawyer in lane 4. Maggie Poulin in lane 5 from Husson University, and Juliana DeGray from Colby Sawyer in lane 6. Now this one a little bit different, a little bit less distance to contend with on this one, Isaac, huh?
But then again, you also have to be careful with how you budget your energy in a race like this.
Like you said, it's still a long event. You still have to kind of budget your energy and really maximize that energy for a little bit later in the race. I think this one's going to be a little bit tighter.
Absolutely.
Expect the battle to be between lanes 3 and 4, Payson and Lewis. They'll go at it as this one wears on. But like you said, this one's still pretty good amount about strategy. But you can afford to push the pace a little bit more with a shorter distance than we saw earlier tonight.
Absolutely, and once again, I'm going to make another running reference. It reminds me a little bit of the 400 in track, you know, because you can easily run a 200 on a full sprint, but when you start to add a little more than that, you got to start to calculate your time and figure out when you need to give your last final push.
Yeah, exactly, and with something like this, the more you swim it, the more beneficial it is.
Absolutely.
Once you've figured out your pace, and figured out how you feel at certain points in the race and how to work through that. A lot of it is still very mental.
Absolutely.
In this event, we see Lewis and Payson still going at it early on in this first 100. So Lewis starting off with a pretty quick pace, splitting 29 in her first 50, now 33 in this one. Still ahead of Payson, which is something that Payson is not used to being trailing.
No.
A multi-time NAC champion in this event and many others.
Absolutely.
Been an anchor for this women's team now in her 3rd year.
A Husson star, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely, I would say. It'll still be Lewis heading into the 150 mark. Ahead by about a second over Payson. Now, if you're not really used to this position where you're trailing, what are some thoughts? Are you trying to panic a little bit?
Honestly, I think in these situations it's best to keep a cool head on you. You know, don't overthink, because then you're going to start making decisions that will, you know, really slow you down.
And you saw a great turn as she brought it
Absolutely
back.
Beautiful turn.
But
she's gained a lot more on this last straightaway we're seeing here. I think that last turn helped her a lot.
Yeah, a lot of times that can help you build momentum for that whole length, like you said. But now maybe, say the event goes on a little bit more, maybe the 400 mark, you're still trailing.
Yeah.
Do you start to push, you make your final push early?
See, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? Do you make your push early and risk not having enough at the tank for your last, what is it, maybe 5 yards or so? And I don't know, honestly.
It is a tricky one. I mean, being in that position myself, I know that I would probably try and start early, but I would regret it. We see Payson still making her presence felt right on the heels of Lewis as we just passed the halfway point in this event. Again,
Seems a little conservative on her runs currently. I wonder if we're going to see something in store on these last coming laps.
I think you are right. Again, she's still pushing it a little bit.
I think she's at the same level as Brandy Lewis right now. Actually,
pulled out in front a little bit on that last turn.
Yeah.
She will head into the wall first, but the race still tight between these two women.
Neck and neck.
They're trying to push each other. That's another thing is one, if you can pace with somebody for most of an event, it makes pushing your pace a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for whatever reason, when you're pacing yourself, you always feel like you have just a little bit more at the end, you know?
You see Payson starting to extend her lead to about a body length over Lewis, but Lewis still trying to push a little bit as we head into this turn.
You know, a body length lead can be changed by one flip turn.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we saw that happen so often during the career of Michael Phelps.
Oh, absolutely. He's dangerous on his turns.
Absolutely. One of the best turns we will see.
Ever, probably.
Probably ever. We've seen Caleb Dressel pull some pretty great turns now.
Impressive ones.
but nothing quite like Michael's.
No one did it as good as Mike, I will say.
That's true for a couple of sports. As we head in to the 400, it'll be Payson by about a body length and a half. 34-12 her last split. Lewis's last split, 35-81. As the two leaders still duking it out. And again, a body length advantage, even at this point in the race, it's not enough.
No.
You've got to hold it. Lap 17 now completed, heading into the last 75. Lewis.
Payson with a commanding lead now.
Lewis is going to have to push it here if she wants to try and at least track down Payson a little bit.
And we heard that infamous bell, which means Payson is on her last lap.
Oh, it's a great feeling when you're the one the bell is being rung for.
I never experienced it much, but when it happened, man, it was special.
Oh, yeah, it always feels great. As we'll see Payson now with a sizable advantage over Lewis as she will cruise home to a victory. At least early on, we thought this one was going to come down to a very close finish.
Yep.
But it'll be Payson getting it done, 5:36.32.
Impressive timestamp for her.
And Lewis will get it done, 5:42.53. Our attention turns over to Maggie Poulin in lane 5, who I believe at this point is the leader in the pool. But like you said, cooler head prevailed there. She didn't let the early lead by Lewis get to her and
nope. She
push her pace a little bit.
She kept swimming her own race.
Exactly. She kept right in her game and did what she does best. As we'll see Poulin finishing up her last lap down there in lane 5. Poulin will round out the podium for the Eagles with a time of 6:24.73. Getting it done after doing the 1,000 a little bit earlier today. It'll be Mannion up there in lane 2 now for Colby Sawyer, closing it out with a ferocious sprint to the end. That's always what you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
You may not be first, but always trying to sprint towards the end. It makes you feel a lot better about your race. Even if it quite didn't go the way you wanted it to. But 6:54.12 her time. It'll be between Kat Christensen and Juliana DeGray towards the end, but Christensen pushes a little too late. She will finish 6th, 7:11.25 her final time. 7:09.97 the final time for Juliana DeGray in lane 6 for Colby Sawyer. Now towards the men's side, it will be Chris Salvatore in lane 3 for the Eagles. Jacob Brown in lane 5 for the Eagles. Once again, we have Kat Christensen still going, actually, in this event. It happens occasionally. I mean, having been a counter before, it definitely, you can mess up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's taking a warm down lap. Never mind. You never know everything about a sport, huh?
Absolutely. But it's the pursuit that keeps us going.
Exactly. Going to be the men's 500 next. Chris Salvatore in lane 3, Jacob Brown in lane 5.
Event 24, the men's 500-yard freestyle. In lane 3 from Husson University, Chris Salvatore. In lane 5 from Husson University, Jacob Brown. Mr. Referee.
And another little friendly competition here.
Yeah, from teammates. It's always fun to see.
It is. Who gets bragging rights in the locker room afterwards? It's always a fun competition.
And there they go in the 500-yard freestyle for the men. It'll be Chris Salvatore and Jacob Brown, both from Husson University, off in this marathon event.
And it appears as though Chris Salvatore has taken a slight but early lead. Let's see where it takes us.
We saw him earlier in the 1,000 take second place. Or no, last week, excuse me, in the 1,000 take second place. And was able to pace himself very well. And this one, just for some locker room bragging rights, like you said.
Or, you know, cushion the stats. Who knows?
Who knows? Of course, Husson still seeking a program first victory on the women's side over Colby Sawyer. Their record 0-3 all time. On the men's side, 1-1 all time. Losing during these two teams' last meeting in 2018. So what should be all new teams, or almost all new teams since then, looking to switch the narrative on this matchup. It'll be Salvatore looking to extend his lead over Brown. See Salvatore kind of just plowing through the water, using his large frame to an advantage to grab as much water as he can and be very efficient on the strokes.
Once again, Chris's wingspan comes into play here in a great factor.
Yeah, like you said, you can really use that to shoot out in front on that catch and grab a lot of water. We see it a lot with Alex Walsh, of course, another freshman for this team, another big boy. Both these two men have some length to them.
Absolutely.
And especially when it comes, like you said, in that wingspan, you can definitely grab a lot more water, and it's very useful.
How much further can you pull yourself, you know?
Yeah, it really does come down to that.
Yeah.
We are approaching the halfway point in this event. Still Salvatore by about a pool length over his teammate Brown. .34.55 his split. He's been hanging about even in that 34 mark.
Keeping pretty consistent with that.
Which is really exactly what you want to do if you're out in front. Sometimes it's hard to get a sense of your pace if you have nothing to pace off of.
Yeah.
If you have nobody else like near you. But holding a pace is a great sign for Salvatore. Brown doing about the same at about the 41 mark. Brown to the wall, finishing his 11th lap as Salvatore gets ready to finish his 13th. Just about 7 laps to go for Salvatore, a leader here in the 500-yard freestyle. Still hanging right about that 34, 35 mark is Salvatore. $33.99 his split. He's trying to turn it up a little bit. But again, he's starting to shorten his stroke a little bit.
He is. You know, getting a little choppy there with the arms.
Again, that causes the hips to kind of splay wide a little bit, losing a lot of power on that kick.
Also creating a little more drag than you'd be comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to tire you out a little bit quickly, but it's also a result of being tired, so it starts to stack up when you're a little
vicious cycle there, isn't it?
Yeah, when your form breaks down a little bit.
Yeah. And there's that bell we all love to hear as Chris approaches his last lap.
I mean, that was a little bit of a lackluster bell ring, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, there could have been a little more effort there, I think.
I'd love to see a little bit more effort on that. Salvatore with the lead of about a whole lap over his teammate Brown in lane 5. It'll be Salvatore cruising to a victory here in the 500-yard freestyle.
See what his final split was.
Splitting 32.50 his final split, 5:33.74 his final time.
Throughout most of that race, he was sitting around 34-ish, and he kind of kicked it in a little high gear there towards the end, finishing with a 32.50 split.
And that's really what you want to do heading into that last 100 or 150 or so. You really want to start to kick it up, and that's exactly what he did. Of course, 5:30 is a great time in the 500.
Absolutely.
And at this point in the year, still a lot of training to go. I mean, you can certainly whittle that down to potentially a 5:15.
Honestly, yeah.
As here comes Brown, putting together a nice strong finish of his own. And he will get it done. 37.23 his final split, 6:23.29 his final time. As we look ahead to the men's and women's 50-yard butterfly, it'll be Olivia Smith from Husson in lane 1, Caitlin Needham from Colby Sawyer in lane 2. Lane 3, it's Ava Emery from Husson, Kelsey Brown from Colby Sawyer in lane 4, and Hannah Suter rounds out the field from Husson in lane 5. This one, of course, quick down and back. And we'll get it done quickly before we take a break for a second round of diving. For Brown and Emery to get away quickly here in this 50-yard butterfly. As expected, it'll be Brown up first, followed by Emery. It'll be Brown in lane 4 by about a half a body length as we head into the first wall. It'll be Brown, followed by Emery. Suter in lane 5. Smith up there in lane 1. Needham in lane 2. Long turn for Brown as she gets ahead by about 3/4 of a body length. Emery trying to close, but it'll be too little too late, as it will be Brown to the wall first, 27.39 her time, followed by Emery, 29.44. Suter gets it done, 31.49. Up there in lane 1, it'll be Olivia Smith, 32.66. And rounding out the field, we've got Caitlin Needham, 40.98 her final time. As we look ahead to the men, it'll be Ben Carusi from Husson in lane 1, Mike Gordon in lane 2 from Colby Sawyer, Stephen Johnston from Husson University in lane 3. In lane 4, it's Parker Hilton from Colby Sawyer and Alex Walsh in lane 5 from Husson. And we see that length come to advantage a lot in the freestyle. It also comes into advantage a lot in the butterfly.
Once again, it's about getting as much volume of water under you as possible.
Event 26, the men's 50-yard butterfly. In lane 1 from Husson University, Ben Carusi. In lane 2 from Colby Sawyer College, Mike Gordon. In lane 3 from Husson University, Stephen Johnston. In lane 4 from Colby Sawyer College, Parker Hilton. In lane 5 from Husson University, Alex Walsh. Mr. Referee.
Off quickly in the men's 50-yard butterfly is Johnston. He's ahead by already about a body length. He had a great start. It'll be Johnston ahead of Walsh in lane 5. It'll be Johnston to the wall first up there in lane 3, followed by Walsh in lane 5, Carusi lane 1. Hilton lane 4, Mike Gordon in lane 2. It'll be Johnston flying away with this one by about a body length as he heads into the wall. It'll be Johnston, 24.50, followed by Walsh, 26.12. Off the wall is Hilton, 26.99. Carusi up there in lane 1, 28-54. And rounding out the field is Gordon, 32-79.
And notice how Johnson, immediately after takeoff, he wastes no time getting into the rhythm of the butterfly.
And sometimes you can spend too long underwater, like you mentioned, and that can really hurt you.
Absolutely. This is the closest one, I would say, to a sprint as you could get.
Yeah, it really is. Well, thank you once again for joining me today, Isaac. It's
Always
been a
pleasure.
pleasure. And we're going to take a quick break as we step aside to get ready for diving. We'll be right back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
5 years ago, we started this journey of recycling. And with that same ingenuity, with that same innovation, and with that same entrepreneurship, we're approaching our next 45 years. We have an obligation to figure out how we can consume less, how we can recycle more, how we can create more sustainable products, and how we help our customers enable that.
We owe it to the future generations to continue to do better and recycle better.
Beginning our round of 6 diving, we have Riley Mahoney from Husson University. 51-22 D will be her first dive. Forward 1 somersault, 1 twist from the free position, 1.9 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 4.5, 4. Our next diver is Jordan Bartlett. 106. Jordan's first dive will be a 102C, forward 1 somersault, tuck, 1.4 difficulty. Judges scores 3.5, 4.5, 4.5. Our next diver is from Colby Sawyer College, is Tess Kohler. Her first dive will be a 103B, forward 1.5 somersault from the pike position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 6, 5.5, 6. Our next diver from Husson University is Spencer Burnett. His dive will be a 104B, forward 2 somersaults from the pike position, 2.3 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5, 4.5, 4.5. Our next diver is from Husson University, is Lily Butler. Her first dive will be a 402C, inward 1 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5, 5, 5. Our next diver from Husson University is Matt Steves. Matt's first dive will be a 104C, forward 2 somersaults from the tuck position, 2.2 difficulty. Judges scores 6.5, 5.5, 6.5. Our next diver is from Husson University, is Shelby Peterson. Her first dive will be a 101C, forward dive from the tuck position, 1.2 difficulty. Judges scores 6.5, 7, 7. Beginning our second round will be Riley Mahoney. Her second dive will be a 302B, reverse 1 somersault from the pike position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5, 6.5, 6. Jordan's second dive will be a 103C forward 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 3.5, 4.5. Tessa's next dive is a 202B back 1 somersault from the pike position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5, 5, 5. Spencer's second dive is a 51-32D forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist from the free position, 2.2 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5, 6.5, 4.5. Lily's second dive is a 302C reverse 1 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5, 5, 4.5. Matt's second dive is a 105C forward 2.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.4 difficulty. Judges scores 2.5, 3, 2.5. Shelby's second dive is a 302B reverse 1 somersault from the pike position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 6, 5.5, 7.
Riley's third dive is a 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2.
Riley's third dive is a 403C inward 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.2 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 4.5, 4.5. Jordan's third dive, a 302C reverse 1 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5, 3.5, 4. Tessa's third dive is a 302C. Reverse one somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5, 5.5, 4.5. Spencer's third dive is a 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.1 difficulty. Judges scores 3.5, 5.5, 4.5. Lily's third dive is a 202A, back one somersault from the straight position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 4s across the board. Matt's third dive is a 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.1 difficulty. Judges scores 1.5, 2, 1.
Can you show those scores again, please? Thank you.
Riley's fourth dive is a 201A. Excuse me, Shelby's third dive is a 5221D. Back one somersault, one twist from the free position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5 across the board. In our fourth round, Riley's fourth dive will be a 201A, back dive from the straight position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 6-6-5. Jordan's fourth dive is a 402C, inward one somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 3, 3.5, 3.5. Tessa's fourth dive is a 401B, inward dive from the pike position, 1.5 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5, 5, 5. Spencer's fourth dive is a 203B, back 1 1/2 somersault from the pike position, 2.3 difficulty. Judges scores 5, 6, 5. Lily's fourth dive is a 52-21D, back 1 somersault, 1/2 twist from the free position, 1.7 difficulty.
Judges scores 4.5, 4.5.
Matt's fourth dive is a 403C, inward 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.2 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 4, 4.5. Shelby's fourth dive is a 401B, inward dive from the pike position, 1.5 difficulty. Judges scores 7, 6.5, 7. Riley's fifth dive is a 104C, forward 2 somersaults from the tuck position, 2.2 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 4.5, 4.5. Jordan's fifth dive is a 201A back dive from straight position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 3, 4, 4. Tess's fifth dive is a 51-22D forward, 1 somersault, 1 twist from the free position, 1.9 difficulty. Judges scores 3, 4.5, 3.5. Spencer's fifth dive is a 403C, inward 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.2 difficulty. Judges scores 5.5, 5, 5. Zilly's fifth dive is a 102A forward, 1 somersault from the straight position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 4, 3.5, 3.5. Matt's fifth dive is a 203B back 1.5 somersault from the pike position, 2.3 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5 across the board. Shelby's fifth dive is a 201A back dive in the straight position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 5, 6, 6. Riley's sixth and final dive is a 103B forward, 1.5 somersault from the pike position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scores 6, 6, 5.5. Jordan's sixth and final dive is a 52-21D. Back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free position, 1.7 difficulty. Tessa's sixth and final dive will be a 52-23D. Back one somersault, 1.5 twists from the free position, 2.3 difficulty. Judges scores 3-4-3. Spencer's sixth and final dive will be a 105C. Forward 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position, 2.4 difficulty. Judges scores 4.5, 5, 4.5. Lily's sixth and final dive will be a 103C. Forward 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 difficulty. Judges scores 5, 4.5, 4.5. Matt's sixth and final dive is a 52-31D. Back 1.5 somersault, 1/2 twist from the free position, 2.1 difficulty. Judges scores 5, 5, 3.5. Shelby's sixth and final dive will be a 103B. Forward 1.5 somersaults in the pike position, 1.7 difficulty. Judges scored 7.5 across the board. This concludes the diving portion of the evening. When we return, it'll be the 100-yard individual medley, followed by the 200-yard freestyle relay for both the men's and the women's. We'll be right back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Choosing a school is really difficult, but I have never felt like I should have gone somewhere else.
The thing I like about the school, the class sizes are smaller.
Making friends is easier here because of the fact that you are such a tight-knit community.
I was shooting around a basketball. That's how I met my first friend.
You meet a lot of new people from different areas of the world.
I feel like I've grown so much here.
And there's so many amazing people that work here to learn from.
I definitely made the right decision coming to Husson.
Welcome back inside the Weber Pool here on the campus of Husson University in Bangor, Maine. I'm Ethan Moss, getting ready for the last couple of events to be the women's 200-yard IM coming out of the diving break. Hannah Suter will be in lane 1 from Husson University. It'll be Kayla Payson in lane 2 from Husson University. Mary Stewart in lane 4 from Colby Sawyer, and Aaron Madden in lane 5 also from Husson. I believe it'll come down to Payson and Stewart in lanes 3 and 4. Watch those two in this matchup. Way quickly are Payson and Stewart as expected. It'll be butterfly into backstroke, breaststroke, and then closing it out with freestyle here in this individual medley. It'll be Payson to the wall first, followed by Stewart. Madden right behind her in lane 5, Suter in lane 1. It'll be Payson still out in front in the backstroke by about a body length. She heads in toward the first 50. 30-37 her split, 31-50 the split for Stewart. Stewart obviously a strong breaststroker. We've seen her in the breaststroke earlier this evening. She's caught right back up with Payson off of the wall. It'll be Stewart trying to edge out in front. Looks like she will by just a little bit ahead of Payson heading into the freestyle. It'll be Stewart and Payson in the home stretch. Payson still out in front of Stewart as she's trying to hold on to a slim margin of a victory, and she will. It'll be Payson getting it done. 106 or 105.82 her final time. 106 flat the final time for Stewart. Madden rounds out the podium. 108.01. Suter up there in lane 1. 114.98 her final time. As we look at the men, it will be Isaiah Stereo lane 1, Jacob Ramos lane 3 for Husson University. Colby Sawyer is represented by Tristan Lees in lane 4, and Alex Walsh in lane 5, also for the Eagles. 3 Eagles, 1 Charger here in this heat for the men's 100-yard IM.
Event 30, the men's 100-yard IM. From Husson University, Alex Walsh. Mr. Referee.
It'll be Lees and Therio in the middle of the pool, duking it out. Walsh up there in lane 5, also making that push. It'll be Walsh ahead first in the butterfly, using the length to his advantage. He gets to the wall first over there in lane 5. It'll be Walsh and his teammate Therio right there in first. Lees right behind him. Up there in lane 1, Therio as well, right with the pack. It'll be Walsh stroking ahead in the backstroke by just about an arm's length ahead of his teammate Therio in lane 3. Or excuse me, that's Ramos in lane 3. Therio in lane 1. It'll be Therio and Lees right even with each other as they head into the breaststroke. It'll be Walsh trying to hold on to a lead over his teammate Ramos. Lees making a push in the breaststroke. He's catching up with Ramos. Walsh still in front by about half a body length over Lees and Ramos in lane 3 and 4. Therio up there in lane 1 also making a push. It'll be into the freestyle first is Walsh trying to come home. Ramos charging as well. But Walsh is going to use the length to his advantage as he will come through in a victory for the Eagles. Time of 1:42. In second place is Jacob Ramos, 101.32. Just behind him, Tristan Lees, 101.52. And 101.64 is the time for Isaiah Stereo up there in lane 1. So we get set for the women's 200-yard freestyle relay. In lane 2, it'll be Colby Sawyer, led off by Aaron McLean. Husson University will be in lane 3, led off by Sydney Jordan. Brandy Lewis leads off for Colby Sawyer in lane 4. And in lane 5, it'll be Abby Howe leading off for the Eagles.
And now for event 31, the women's 200-yard freestyle relay. In lane 2, the team from Colby Sawyer College of Aaron McLean, Peyton Anito, Cecilia LaFlame, and Hannah McCullough. In lane 3, the team from Husson University of Kayla Payson, Aaron Madden, Erica Barone, and Sydney Jordan. In lane 4, the team from Colby Sawyer College of Brandy Lewis, Lily Stitchfield, Aiden Boudreaux, Kelsey Brown. In lane 5, the team from Husson University of Abby Howe, Olivia Smith, Maggie Boyd, and Isabella Miles. Mr. Referee.
Off we go in the 200-yard freestyle relay. It'll be Colby Sawyer, and Husson in this one. Starting off, it'll be Payson and Lewis right there in the middle of the pool. Battling with each other. It'll be Payson to the wall first, followed by Lewis. Payson will give way to Erica Barone. Lewis to Lily Stinchfield as they head into the wall. It'll be Lewis first for the Chargers, followed by Payson. 27-97 the split for Lewis. Abby Howe gets it done for the Eagles up over there in lane 5, 29-38. Trying to run away with it is Stinchfield up there in lane 4. She's got about a quarter of a body length on Barone, who had a great turn. She's trying to bring it back for the Eagles in lane 3. It'll be Barone and Stinchfield neck and neck as they give way to, that was Madden. Now it's Barone. It'll be Barone and Boudreaux. Boudreaux off to the advantage early as she gets down to the far wall. She's got about a half a body length advantage over Barone. Barone has a great turn. She's bringing it back. She's got about a quarter of a body length. Boudreaux has about a quarter of a body length advantage over Barone. It'll be Boudreaux giving way to Brown. And with about a body length advantage, it'll be Sydney Jordan trying to close it out for the Eagles. Over for the Eagles in lane 5. Isabella Viles anchoring it out over Hannah McAloon over there in lane 2 for the Chargers, but it'll be the Chargers taking home the victory. Closed out by Kelsey Brown over Sydney Jordan in lane 3. With a time of 1:48.22, 1:52.74, the final time for the Eagles A relay in lane 3. The B relay gets it done, 2:03.78, hanging on over the B relay for the Chargers, 2:04.75, a time for them over there in lane 2. Now looking ahead to the Eagles for this final event. It will be Husson University in lane 1 and 2 and 5. Colby Sawyer in lane 4. Leading it off in lane 1 is Spencer Burnett. In lane 3, Andrew Cody. In lane 4, Caden Braley. And in lane 5, Joe Vale. Out there quickly. It will be Vale in lane 1, off to an early start for Husson. It will be Cody charging in lane 3. Up there in lane 1 is Bernat, right behind him. Caden Braley brings up the rear for the Chargers in lane 4. It will be steaming home. It will be Vale in lane 1, followed by Cody in lane 2. Ramos now into the pool for the Eagles in lane 5. It'll be Johnston in lane 3. Johnston trying to track down his teammate Ramos. It'll be Emerson up there in lane 1 trying to do the same. Holding on over the Chargers. It'll be Gordon trying to bring it a little bit closer for his team. It'll be Johnston to the wall first, giving way to Hunter Jackson. Ramos gives way to Chris Salvatore. Emerson gives way to Ben Carusi. Excuse me, that's Alex Walsh. Walsh is going to try to track down Jackson. And he will. It'll be Walsh and Jackson to the wall, followed by their teammate Chris Salvatore over there in lane 5. Walsh is going to give away to Carusi. Jackson will give away to Pizer. Pizer's going to try to anchor it out. He gets a great start over Carusi. Carusi's going to have some work to do to track him down. Here comes Champlin in lane 5, trying to get it for his team. It'll be Lees anchoring it out for Colby Sawyer in lane 4. Here comes Carusi and Pizer to the end, but it'll be Champlin making a push for it, but Pizer will hang on. 1:35.80 the final time for the Eagles in lane 3, getting it done. And lane 5, 1:36.72 in second place, and in third place, Eagles up there also in lane 1, 1:37.14 their final time. The Chargers round out the field with a 1:41.15 as their final time. This will conclude the swimming events for the evening as we take a look at the scores in a moment.
At this time, we'll announce the final for the men's score. With 225 points, Husson University. Husson University thanks you for attending today's meet, and please drive home safely.
And on the men's side, we see the Eagles taking home the victory, and I would assume on the women's side the same thing. Taking home the victory over the Colby Sawyer Chargers. Of course, have a long bus ride home back to New London. We want to thank you for tuning in today. I've been Zethan Moss alongside guest analyst Isaac Haskins a little earlier this evening. This has been a presentation of the Husson Eagles Sports Network.